Down in the Den, so go tell a friend. The best podcast on earth's about to begin. We got jokes and news and movie reviews. After Dark NC-17 with the crew. Interviews with the best artists around. So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Welcome to Down in the Den. It's your boy Marz, and welcome to your favorite podcast. Joining me in the den is a talented musical duo hailing from the good old state of Georgia. This award-winning group is here to talk about their new project, Uncommon Love Story. Welcome to the den, Banjii and Mayuri. Guys, how are you doing?
Oh, we're great. Better now that we can talk to you.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm happy that I get to talk to you guys. I love what I do because I get to talk to the most incredible artists, get to listen to so much good music. So it's been a pleasure and it's a joy for me. So
thank you, brother.
You're more than welcome. First off, how's 2022 been treating you so far? New Year's been crazy all around the globe. How has it been doing for you guys?
That's been good for us. We have no complaints.
Awesome.
Got time with our family and our children. Made some art. Nobody got sick.
So
yeah,
that's a win-win-win. You guys are living.
I know. I've got no complaints.
Love it. I love it. That's a positive energy I love. So one thing that's a tradition here in the den, everybody that watches the show know the one thing I love just as much as art is comic books. It was what I grew up on. It's how I learned how to read. I'm a big comic book nerd, have stats and stats. And one thing that's common in almost every single comic book, be it the good guy or the bad guy, everyone has an origin story. Be it a radioactive bug bite, hit with gamma rays, something that transforms them and points them in their direction. So my question posed to you guys, what is your origin story? How did you guys become a band? How did you guys find your passion for music?
So I want Mayuri to answer this, but I want to say we're doing a 7-part series right now. And right now we're talking about the 4th and 5th episode. And this morning, Mayuri was like, think about the superhero stories. And I was relating it to that with regard to like making some decisions. So with that said, Mayuri, you answer that question. I think it's awesome that you asked that today.
I propose.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of our origin story, which actually is music video 2, which we have released, it touches upon the story. We started out 2 different parts of the world. So like if you're talking Way's origin, like from day one, I grew up in India and he grew up in Georgia. And we're the exact same age. We're like 47 days apart. Like, so born 2 sides of the world. Literally, it's diametrically opposite on the globe, but same time. And then I eventually made my way over to Georgia in 2011. But then, and I came for my MBA, and took me a good another 9 years to make my way to Decatur, Oakhurst, where he had a music school and an art gallery, and I bought a house right next to him. And then it took another 9 months for me to actually walk into his gallery and buy art. And then eventually start, because it's a music school, I said, I've always wanted to do music. Let's do some music together. Started writing songs, wrote our first song. And then as soon as we wrote the first song together, I'm like, we should just go on tour. And
I said, no, I have a music school. I was like, I will do the album, the project, but I'm not going to go on tour. And now I'm on tour 1 year later.
1 year later. So
the proof's in the pudding.
Beautiful woman tells you to go on tour, you go on tour. You did the right thing.
But I did say no first.
It's not the first answer, it's the last.
You did say no
I said first. No, absolutely not. There's no way.
And but really though, like it was the music that brought us together, because we from a background perspective, like he's done music his whole life. I'm my day job is in business. I work in mergers and acquisitions. So not only are we from different cultures and races and countries, we're also from diametrically opposite professions. So we really didn't have much in common other than the music. And so when we started writing about the music together, we were like, oh my God, we actually have everything in common, but we needed the music to get both of us to see it, and more than see it, to feel it. So and a lot of that is reflected in our project. So our project actually is personal, because all these things that we are discussing, we've kind of embedded those storylines both in the visuals and in this actual songwriting.
I am a sucker for a good concept that gets me in the door. So
that's awesome. I was about to say, like, be careful what you ask us.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good concept. That's always going to get me in the door, especially in music where it tends to be very cookie cutter in some instances. At least what you hear in the masses, it can be very deflating for someone that just really loves the art. So when I heard the concept, the visuals to go along with the story, and it's an album, I loved it. And then I started listening to it. I was like, okay, I really, really dig this. What are some of your goals with this project? Besides, of course, just releasing this incredible art to the world, but what's some of your goals with this project?
Oh man. First of all, thank you. I love that you took the time to look at it and watch it, and
I have to
and try to understand it.
Yeah, I have to be authentic. That's what makes the down in the den.
Yeah, no, I see it. I want to be your friend. All right, but to answer your question,
love and unity here, man.
I love it.
Already. You're all you're family. Once you're a den mate, you're a den mate for life.
I love it. That's the same way we work. So to answer your question, we started a record label called Kahani Records, and Kahani, it's a Hindi word for story. So we, as Kahani Records, signed Banjii and Mayuri as the first artist. Right?
Investment.
So we're Banjii and Mayuri very happy with Kahani Records, by the way. They've done an amazing job. They worked a lot to make this music come to you. But so the long-term goal is to create a platform to help people tell their story and to produce and work with other artists. Our next release actually is going to feature a lot of artists that I've worked with over the last 20 years. And then also children, so we have 2 children, and they have a beautiful community. And so in the next video, we're going to focus on that. But in general, that's the broader reach of what we're doing. Is right now we're creating the content to finish the product, not the product, but the project of Uncommon Love Story, which is the first big thing that Kahani Records ever did. And then go from there.
It's definitely a good plan. One thing that we always talk about on the show, the 3 Ps: purpose, passion, and a plan. Discover your purpose, be passionate about it, and make a plan. So it sounds like you definitely have all 3 in spades. Now, something that was unique with this project, and like I said, I'm a sucker for a good concept. Whose idea, or was it collaborative, to say, you know what, this story, this project, we're going to make sure we include the visual element? Because a lot of times, especially traditionally, 1 or 2 videos on the project, move on to the next project. Music's very turn and burn. It's not like when I was growing up, when people would buy a CD and look at the label, and it would be 3 months for 1 song, and then maybe 3 months later they'll drop another song. The industry is just turn and burn. So what was the inspiration to have this visual element and stick with it and make sure, you know what, we're going to do a complete body of work and release it out there, instead of that temptation to just do that microwave music that we hear a lot of?
It's interesting, and I think the reason why our collaboration succeeds is we often have ideas at the same time, and it's like and it's almost like we're telepathically somehow coming up with it. We're catching some similar vibration because I remember sitting on the porch of his music school and saying, hey, so now that we've written the songs, because first we just wrote the songs, and the first draft of the songs, we were not thinking through much of what happens after that. But after it was written, we were like, it'd be nice to start making music videos.
At first, we were just going to make a record.
Like you said.
Of the songs, and maybe one music video. But keep going. So we're going with the flow. There's an improvisational aspect to this project called Uncommon Love Story. So it's changing. So keep going.
Yeah, I mean, after we wrote it, we said, what do we do next? And then I said, it'll be nice if we at least have a few videos that connect to the story. And then you said that was something you've been wanting. You had already started doing on another project, and that was like he had already had this vision on another project. So we were like,
that I never saw to fruition. Yeah.
So we were like, let's bring so he has always or had wanted to do this, and I had this idea. So then we just went for it, and it made sense because the way we've written our songs, we wrote them as a story. Like they're all conversations, and conversations at different stages in our relationship. So they're very personal. That was important. Even when we were just writing the songs, none of our songs are about somebody else or something else. Like even if they're 7 songs, they're like things that we have been through and we have been through, not even like somebody else, like him and I. And so the story is already there. And so we're like, okay, this is already a 7-part story. Then we should just put visuals to that. So it eventually evolved to that idea.
Okay. I really do. I really love that. And I love that freedom to create, but also freedom to evolve and let the project be what it's going to be. And I love that free energy. It's awesome. You guys might be my favorite couple. I like you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, brother.
One of my great joys is just checking out music. I always tell people there's 3 people in my life that really just shaped what I am when it comes to observing music. My father, my brother, and my best friend are some of my biggest influences. So I love checking out music, checking out artist stories, and talking to those artists. One thing that I love finding out is, especially with you guys, with having 2 different backgrounds, but musically being in sync, what are some of your musical influences? Who are in your musical Mount Rushmore? Who are 4 artists that you really feel just embody what you feel?
So check this out. We can go back and forth about who each of us like individually, but we just had this conversation because so Mayuri came from India, and she moved to America. Was it 11 years now?
Yeah, 10.
10 years ago. But before that, she was living in Pune, India, and she wasn't influenced like by to the heart by a lot of music. One of her biggest was Simon and Garfunkel, which is so funny because it's also Paul Simon particularly is, I would say, if I had to choose one, it would be him, especially his. It's the same artist.
It's so crazy.
But the reason I fell in love with Paul Simon was his work that he did in Africa. And the reason she liked Paul Simon was his white work in New York City with Garfunkel. And I'm like, and I've always been kind of against the Garfunkel days of Paul Simon. Like, it wasn't
that was the one cassette I had, and I love every song on that cassette. So Paul Simon.
And Paul Simon wrote all those songs. It's really just Paul Simon.
Right.
But
poor
to me, interestingly, so I came from like a bluegrass background when I started with strings, and then I played a bunch of different types of music. I had lots of bands, released 5 records, mostly acoustic based, but like experimental as well. And then Mayuri, coming from India, like she's professional dancer and choreographer and engineer. She does a lot of things. And then also has been singing music the whole time, but not doing it like as a profession. So do you want to talk about any of your other influences? I wanted to talk about the Simon Garfunkel thing because we were just having that conversation. But
I mean, some of the influences that we still have in common are in the last 10 years. Like growing up, I think I have the classical, as he was talking about it, like the classical Indian music influence, Bollywood music influence, and storytelling, and and that may be another reason for having the videos go with the music. Maybe subconsciously, that's something I've internalized, because Bollywood music, if you're exposed to some of that, or if you enjoy it, they're all like musicals, right? Like so they all have videos going with the audio. So I think that would be my second big influence, and so it's interesting to bring both those together, and then whatever other influences that you may have. Yeah.
Love the
yeah, I don't have an accent, but I am from the South, like the southern part, like North Georgia.
I'm technically Virginia is the South. I don't think I have an accent. My sister, who's born and raised in New York, she thinks I sound like one of the old country movies where they're like, "Hey, everybody," but I'm like, I don't have an accent. I don't feel I have.
No, you really do sound like our friend Terry.
We may be related. We may be related.
We haven't gotten to the bottom of this.
Yeah, I'm going to ask my dad. I'm going to investigate this. Who knows what goes on in the heart of Craig? Who knows? Who knows? So, guys, it has been a pleasure really getting to talk to you. And I thank you guys so much for carving out some time and joining me in the den. But before we let you go, because I know you guys are busy creating more beautiful music, we always play a little game. We always have a little fun because, as I mentioned, we're more than a podcast. We're more than a YouTube show. We're a community. Every artist that we have worked with, we still work with. We promote with them. It's a big community. So I welcome you guys in the community.
Thank you, brother.
Before we officially get you a stamp, you got to play a game. And I know it sounds like Jigsaw. I promise there's nothing scary. But we do play a little game. And the game is called If You Don't Know, Now You Know, a famous quote from the late notorious B.I.G., where we give you some quick fire questions. And then we ask you guys to answer them openly and honestly to let the friends of the den and the den mates know a little bit more about you guys. So are you ready?
Yeah. Are we supposed to answer at the same time?
You guys can go, since you're a group, you guys can go back and forth. We'll do it.
Yeah, because this could cause marital fights if we answer differently.
Yeah, we'll let you guys go back and forth. So who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Okay. So the first quick fire question that we have for you: what is one food that you love that the rest of the world would probably be shocked or appalled about?
Nothing.
There's got to be something.
There's nothing.
I like peanut butter on my hamburger. So.
Oh, you didn't say food combination.
Yeah, any food combination.
Oh, ketchup on tacos.
Ketchup on tacos. That is weird. I think we should end the interview right now. No, just that's kind of gross. Awesome. Okay. All right. So we're learning. We're learning a little bit. All right, Mayuri, you're next. Now I want a fun question like this, but this one is a little bit more inspirational. What do you find beautiful?
Innocence.
Oh, that's a hell of an answer. That is so damn sweet. That is a great. You said innocence, and then I curse. But
yeah, it's like ketchup on a taco.
Right. No, that makes you curse. Okay. All right. Your question. What was your childhood celebrity crush?
Mayuri.
Oh, like in your dreams.
Good answer. Wise man. Good answer. I like it.
He was
All
thinking about asking me again, but
He's like, he got
Yo,
the hint.
yo, happy wife, happy life. I don't want
Wait.
any problems.
now Mayuri wants to know. She's like, I'm certain you didn't know me back then. Oh no. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So for me, I always answer this one. For me, it was Elisa Milano from Who's the Boss when I was a little kid. That's who I thought I was going to marry one day, and didn't happen. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hi, Lisa. All right. So
Oh my god, you've been trying this for a while. How many times you plugged that?
a lot. And we haven't had any success yet, but I'm never going to quit. I'm not.
It's part of the reason for the podcast.
It's the only reason for the podcast. To be completely honest, I don't even know how to read. It's just all about getting her attention. No,
I love it.
So the final question on the.
Oh, we should answer this one together.
Yeah.
Okay.
The final question. So this one is a kind of would you rather type question, or one that just is really thought provoking. So it kind of gets an idea of where your values lie. So if you had to lose one thing, your sight or your memories, which would you give up?
That's a good one. All right, you want to say on the count of three?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Memories.
Really?
Yeah, because if I had to do one, the reason we hadn't talked about this ever. That's a crazy question, but I'd want to still be useful.
I think the point is you can certainly be very useful, if you lose your sight, but more so, I think the point is that for me, you can always make new memories, right? And so.
Hey, I wasn't talking shit about blind people.
No, we are not.
For the record, that was a philosophical question.
No, I'm sure Stevie wanted to be more
useful, with my sight in the future. I think would have a bigger impact than my memory. That's more selfish.
Yeah, and I think you can make new memories with the sight. I rely a lot on my sight to make memories. So and to have that vision. So
my question's different because my eyesight is so poor. I'm pretty much living in the legally blind camp anyway. So it's pretty much every day.
So Mayuri can't see without glasses, and she wears contacts, and it's a catch-22 because she loses the contact box all the time. And then she can't find them, and it's up to me.
So he is really the eyes we're talking about.
Yeah, so
this is a trick question.
If my eyes go away, we're both screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Yeah,
but you still chose memories.
Yeah,
that's funny because she doesn't have much sight.
There you go. It's not much of a loss anyway. It's not much of a loss. Guys, you guys are great. So
Thanks for having us, brother.
It's been a pleasure. You're official like a referee with a whistle. You get your stamp, then made affiliated. That means we'll be promoting your music. We'll be putting some of your music on our DITD radio platform so we can get some exposure and make sure everyone is listening to the tunes. We'll also continue to promote. We don't ask anything for it. It's just what we do. We want to share great art with the masses. So that's what we'll do. We'll also be contacting you to send you some Down in the Den merch so you can have a cool sweatshirt, hat, something like that. So guys,
I love it.
Thank you so much. Please
let the friends of the Den know where they can find you, your social media, where they can stream your projects. The floor is yours.
On Instagram is Banjii and Mayuri, Banji and Mayuri. We're also on Facebook as Banji and Mayuri, and then our website is Kahani, KAHANI records.com. So you can find our email on there, which is info@kahanirecords.com. So reach out to us if you want to send us a story or just say hi on our email, and follow us on social media. Our YouTube channel is also called Banjii and Mayuri, so you'll find us. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best success. Enjoy this journey. It's the best part. I'm very proud of you guys, and taking this venture and being creative is the true lifeblood of living on this planet, is just creating art and giving it to people. So I appreciate you guys for stepping in that creative path. We appreciate you. Guys, please check out their music. It's phenomenal. You know, I'm batting 1,000. If I was a baseball player, I'd be Barry Bonds minus the drugs and probably in the Hall of Fame. So please check them out. I'm batting 1,000. They're phenomenal. Great music. It's that folk soul music, rhythms, tones, great instrumentation, great vocals. It gets the stamp. So please check them out. This has been another fantastic episode of Down in the Den, your favorite podcast in the multiverse. And as I end every episode, peace, love, unity, respect, deuces. All right.
This is Sophia V, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe at Down in the Den.